Hello guys, welcome again to Profi Literacy channel, the return of Profi. Yeah, today we're going to discuss about my biography, like as a documentary, how I am here. As you all know, I'm not a South African, I came from Zimbabwe. So I will give you a recap from how I grew up, like till now. So first of all, I grew up in a family of five. Like to our family, we are five, which is five boys and one girl. And I'm a last born. In fact, but the problem here is I grew up with my mother. I think my entire life I grew up with my mother. My mother is the one who raises me till I am 18. So, like, she's the one who was paying all bills for me to go to school. Actually, I didn't go to that much higher level, but to I go to high school and I finished my ordinary level and I passed my ordinary level, but just because of money, we didn't proceed further, something like that. And in the year 2020, on the 7th of February 2020, that year of coronavirus, I made it to come here in South Africa from my homeland, which is the same site. And to make it worse, I come here without any paper, like without any proper documents. Like we used to come here illegally. So on the 7th of February 2020, I traveled with one of our neighbors there. I think it's my auntie. Yes, it's my auntie. We traveled all together from there. And when we arrived, we didn't go to the border straight. We come through by the river. There's a river. I think many of you guys know that river, which is the Limpopo River. And we used to cross there. There was some water there in that river. I think, or I tried to cross there with many, but we managed to cross illegal. There was a river. I think the water was up into my waist, somewhere here on my waist. There was water. So we managed to cross the river illegally. And when we got to SA site, there are some guys there. So they took us there from that river banks to the very closing. There's some raw areas there where but those people they have some connection how we are going to travel to be here in South Africa. So we go there, they took us by there, fence like a Toyota buggy, and we got there in very close, something like 500 meters away from the river to that houses, which is very close to the river. And we got there, it was around 10 a.m. on the 7th February 2020. And we were men. When we arrived there, we have to go inside the house so that they will plan better. There were some soldiers, SA soldiers, who were loitering around looking for illegal foreigners, but unfortunately they didn't find us. So from there, we were kept inside the house. It was like an RDP house, something like so. So there are some quantum taxis, those Toyota ones, which were supposed to come and pick us. You must be in groups. If you are going around there in Limpopo, you have to go to on your tax. When you are going to Western Cape, which is the Cape Town or Durban, you have to go in one tax. If you are going to Gauteng, one tax. So I was going in Gauteng. I was supposed to go to my sister, which is in Pretoria. So I have to take the tax to Gauteng, which is Pretoria. So my aunt was going in Limpopo, and tax arrived around it was around 2 o'clock p.m. when the tax arrived, and they say Gauteng, which is Pretoria, Joburg, get in guys, we need to go, and we get in that tax, and we traveled. You know, if you are on road, if you are not well documented, yeah, there are some money, you have to keep some money. 20 kilometers, you face policies. 10 kilometers, there's roadblock. After many roadblocks, but we're trying to keep some money. Yes, guys, we don't have papers. Here's money, here's money, here's money. Until we arrive in Pretoria CBD. We arrived there at roughly 10 o'clock p.m. in Pretoria CBD. So they have to drop me there, and I don't have phone. I only have my number for my sister. I have to call my sister that, yeah. Unfortunately, we did call her, and they picked up the call, and we told them the story. I'm here in Pretoria, and she came very quickly, and she picked me up, and we go to their location. There's a location which is in Rango, and we arrived there. So it was on the 7th of February 2020, and we slept there and woke up early, which is 8 February 2020, which is my first day to be officially in South Africa, 8 February 2020, and now we needed to start hustling. As I was thinking like, if you come to South Africa, you have to go maybe to some offices to put your CVs and you must get work. I wasn't know that this South Africa is too difficult for me, and I was resting for something like a week, but I was in a hurry in my mind. I need to get a job so that I have to buy my everything. I have to prepare everything I need. While it's your here in South Africa, guys, tell the truth, it's very difficult. Very, 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 especially if you don't have proper document. Because me, I wasn't even any document of me. Starting from the passport, I wasn't having any passport. So it was going to be a very, 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 very tough journey for me to be successful. The first job I did, there's another one guy which was one of friend of my sister. I forgot the name, but he was doing some tiling, and they said I need a assistant laborer. And my sister said, here, there's my brother. Can you go with him? And unfortunately, he took me, and we got there and do the first job I did here in South Africa. It's tiling, and we got there, and I was assisting him, mixing taka, bringing tiles closer to him, and we did that tile work. And the first pay I got paid here, it's 200 rand per day. That is the first pay I got, and I was so happy that I got 200 and I got paid. So I have to buy my first data, buy something, and it was only for one day. Like it was like a piece job. So I stayed there like something like 2 weeks, no work, and that 200 I already wiped it away, and but I'm still struggling. But in other cases like food or like rent, I was not in one because my sister was covering all of that. And fun fact, there's another company which was needing of some laborers for building. It was a building construction company actually, and it was very, very, very far. Where we were used to work, it was in Pretoria East, something like there from Silver Lakes and the hills, yeah, there, that side of Mamelodi. But we were staying in Rangwa, so we have to wake up around 4:15, and we have to pick up there, and we have to go there to work. But fun fact, uh, they were saying they are going to give us 150 rands per day because we are assistants, we are laborers, we don't know anything about construction, but we don't have choice. My sister had to let me go, and also I was here to go because I was in a hurry for work. So that's 2020. It's 2020, and from March, let's say it's March, February, March, April, May, June, July. I was doing this thing of mixing data, pushing wheelbarrows, doing with the brickworks, yes. And I was exhausted and I was very tired about that work. So one of my brothers who was here in Cape Town, he called me and said, young brother, Ash, it's been a long time. Can you come here? There's some work, I can give you some work here. And I said, okay, I have to come. And it was August 2020, and I got my best in Pretoria, and I have to come here in Cape Town looking for greener pastures again. When I come here, I find out that the things are still the same. The amount of money I was used to be given there in Pretoria was the same as the money I'm going to be given here in Cape Town. While it's here in Cape Town, life is more expensive than there in Pretoria. Everything from rent, electricity, water, food, to there's plenty of people, so everything you have to work by your own to get to be surviving here. So life will be very difficult for me here, according to the money I was being given. So I have to think after 3 weeks, Cape Town was very big for me, and I was thinking to go back to Gauteng. I was see Pretoria then Gauteng as a better place for me rather than to be in Cape Town. While this I was preparing for me to go, but like the day the day before I have to go, I was washing my clothes. Something like, let me the yard is here, and I was washing my clothes alongside the road there, washing my clothes, putting it on the wire. Uh, I was thinking like, tomorrow I have to go and I have to hike and go back to Gauteng because this place is not for me. While this I was busy washing, randomly one of my friends appeared, and that friend was one of my best friends from the school. I think we were last seeing each other in 2014, and now it's 2020. He appeared randomly. They said, "Who are you?" And he said, "Who?" I said, "Are you here?" I said, "Are you here?" He said, "Sure." And I told him that my situation, bro, I need to leave. I need to go back to Gauteng. And he was listening. So, what is the situation? I told him my situation, and he said, no, brother. He was actually working. He was actually on the holiday. He was working in Mosobai, but it's here in Cape Town, but outside Cape Town, outside Western Cape, but it's under Western Cape here in Mosobai. They were doing tree felling, tree cutting. They were doing firewood there. They used to cut those firewood with chainsaws. So he explained to me that there at our work, there's our friend of our boss. He needs 3 people for them to start a new work. And I said, really? And they said yes. And I said, no, we can go together, no problem. They said, okay, no problem, we can go. They, they were here and all day. So it was on Saturday. So they said we have to go on Monday. Actually, on Monday, we didn't go to Belleville. If you know Belleville, we go there and there's a tax rank. They said, guys, we need to go to Mosoba. And we leave one of our boss were 6. We leave one of our best friends there and said we give him all of our bags because we don't have enough money. And we'll go to N2 for us to hike on some tracks. If you are hiking, it will be very cheaper for you rather than to go to a ticket on a tax. We'll go to N2. We said we need to hike. We tried hiking from 1 o'clock PM, trying to hike. But unfortunately, we were not successful till uh, quarter to 6. Yeah, that is where we got our track, which was going to George. George is way more forward than Mosoba. While we were going in Mosoba, and said George, and we were getting in on that track, and that track takes us there, and we go 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 go. And when we arrived there, and it was roughly 1 a.m. the next day, 1 a.m. midnight, and we traveled to that. It was like a farm. It was on a farm where we were supposed to work. There was no electricity on that farm. It was on the farmland, and we from N2. It's not too far. We traveled by foot, something like 4 kilometers away from the main road, and we traveled by foot there until we got to the farm. It was like a farm, and when we arrived there, those white men come early tomorrow, and they said we have to go to work. We said no, we are tired, and we were asking each other, who are you? And those guys, they were asking us, what are you shooting, guys? And we mentioned, we give them the list, we are shooting this and this and this. As the white men, they quickly make a plan, bring us some sponges, mattresses, blankets, pots, everything there to be in place. And the following day, we started working. We were working the target. We were doing tree cutting for those firewoods. We're supposed to load up to 40,000 pieces of firewood on a truck and give a certain money. While it's over 3, we have to share that money. So it was now September. September, we tried that. October, we tried that. November, we tried that. December, first 2 weeks of December, we're still doing that. But that job was too hard for me and I was very stressful. On my mind, I was still thinking my sister then Pretoria. This job is too difficult for me. I have to go back to Pretoria. So by that December, the other guys they said they are going back to Cape Town for the holidays. And some of them said they will stay there in most of my holidays. And I said, guys, I'm done with this week. I'm going back to Gauteng. And I took my bus. It was 22 December 2020, and I took my bus back to Pretoria. And when I got to Pretoria, now I'm more adapting to South African life. At least I've something like 9 months. Yeah, something like 9 months in South Africa. And we got there. It was December holidays, January holidays. So here come it was 2021. We started in 21 and we got another job from another construction company again. That is where I said that here in South Africa, job is very, 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 very difficult. Guys, you see that thing of DACA, what? I know about those things. And I made DACA long time. I think the whole 2021, I made the DACA too much. Mixed the DACA and the DACA the whole 2021 until December. When it is December and January, no. I started calling one of those friends from Mosobai. Remember, I left them when they were doing uh, firewood cutting, but when I left, they also left that job and they started another new job. They were doing something like fancy, better job than that one of firewood cutting. And I contacted them, guys, I need a job. And they were very patient. They said, you have to come back. We have to try together and I have to get my bus. It was also in February. I don't know more why I most likely to travel in February. It was in February 2022. And I got there and And I got them there, and we go to their houses. They told me this is the circle, you have to find the job there. And I tried to find, and unfortunately, I got some of new friends I wasn't not there. There were some new friends from the school, and we started to interact. Now I'm a little bit bigger now and more adapting to South African life. So we started going to those. Today I'm here, tomorrow I'm here, yesterday I'm here, tomorrow I'm here. Till I got the steel fixing job in 20. Remember, it's 2022 now. So now we're doing steel fixing work, steel fixing work. I started as a labor, as assistant, not knowing anything about the steel fixing. So I was learning with those guys, they were their drawings. I was learning day in and out. When they finish, I have to take those drawings. When I'm at home, I have to start. What are they was doing there with this plan? Knowing that plan, knowing that a little bit. I think the 3 quarter of 2022, I was working as a laborer in steel fixing. When we say laborer, I mean an assistant. I think roughly June of 2022, I was in my heart, I was telling myself that no, I can read this plan actually. And on those guys I was working with, there was no anyone who can trust me that this guy can know this plan, but he is still an assistant. And one day while we were working, there's another workman who came to our job and said, "Hey, I need one of you guys who knows the plan. I have a big job which is coming there, and also by something like it was a 5-story building. Needed to be fixing it. Need to be fixing the steel from the ground." And I said, "Yes, I know the plan." I said, "Do you know the plan?" I said, "Yes." And they said, "I will give you 700 rands. Can we go to work?" And I said, "Yes." Guys, I promise you, that was my first ever job to got a drawing on my hands and fix a structure before. I wasn't even fixing a structure before. And we got there. I started fixing some bases. From the bases, starter bars, columns, from columns, the structure, the beams, the building is going. And the 2022 is finished. And I was getting my mind each and every day. I was getting more experience. By the end of 2022, I was more experienced than many of the guys. I really don't understand how quickly I got more experience than the other guys. 2023, there was no job, and I was starting marketing for my own. And my anger was to open my steel fixing company. 2023, I opened my illegal steel fixing company. You know, guys, if you don't have papers, you can't open a legal company. I just opened my illegal steel fixing company, just contacting some white men with some jobs and said, "You guys, I know this job. Can you please give me this job?" And they give me that job. And I was hiring some guys, 10, 7, 8, hiring some transport. Remember, I don't have a transport going to work. And I was the whole 2023, I was getting job all over working. And remember, this thing of content creation was not even on my head. I was buying some expensive phone, expensive clothes, getting some money, 8,000 rand, 25,000 rand, 17,000 rand, 15,000 rand. I was getting better man there. The whole 2023, I think that was my break year here in South Africa, the year 2023. And it made me better as a boy and also as a man. And also, I gained more experience in South Africa. Everything I was wished to do, I was able to do it actually in 2023. And then 2024, the work was too scary. There was no work trying to market there, but was no work. 2024, those white men who were used to give me some jobs, they didn't give me the job, and I was struggling getting some pieceworks. Here I slept, here I work, here I work. Here. I think the whole 2024 for me was a struggle. I struggled in 2024 until it was November. Yes, it was November. When my sister called me that, can you come here on holiday? We need to see each other as a family on holiday. And I went there in Pretoria around, it was 17 November on holiday. We did the holiday there till January 2025. And on January 2025, I said, no, I have to start a new chapter here. So now the content creation is on my head now. What is the better place for me to start a content creation? And I looked all over in South Africa. I said, no, man, I think Cape Town is the land of dreams. Everything you need, you have to go to Cape Town to settle and to hustle in Cape Town. And I contacted one of my friends. I said, bro, I need to come there in Cape Town. We need to hustle there together. Actually, I was in my mind, I was with that content creation hustle in my mind, but you can't just do content creation while it's you have to pay rent, you have to buy food, so you have to go to work and also you have to buy some equipment for you can't do content creation with one cheap cell phone. So I have to work first, got a better cell phone, microphones, tripods, lighting, those things. So I have to come there 2025 on February again. When I arrived in Cape Town in February, life was not that smooth as I was thinking that it was going to be very, 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 very fast for me. I came here in Cape Town, we started to marketing for job, but the job was not that. Today, it was like the week I was going to work maybe 3 days, and the following week I maybe going to work 4 days, and yeah, it was the winter was around the corner because it was around March. So on April, May, the winter will be starting. So on those winter climates, it will be raining here in Cape Town. So I think the whole 2025 actually I didn't work it nice until it was something roughly August when I get another company of still fixing. Yeah, it was better, but not that better. I can say 50% it was better. Like the fortnight I was getting myself with 5 days, 6 days, 5 days, 6 days is better, 10 days is better, 10 days. So it was better for me to survive until the whole 25 ends. And now we're in 2026. And also I'm still working with that company. But now I bought my whole setup of content creation. Uh, Even this t-shirt you can see, I printed it. I think 2 weeks ago. I printed it on. I forgot the date, but now I'm still working. But I'm thinking of quitting my job and being a full-time YouTuber, trying to hustle here on YouTube. So this is how my life evolves day each and after. It's something like 6 years now, from 2020. Now it's 2026. So in 2026, that is where my mind tells me no, I have to leave that thing of working. I have to start. I have to, in fact, I have to start being a YouTuber full time. In fact, now I'm not. It's not full time. I'm still balancing it, YouTube and going to work, YouTube and going to work. But as I say like I'm going to quit my job this year. I think this year I have to give myself a goal. This year should be the last year of me going to work. I don't want to work again for someone. I need to be a 100% full-time YouTuber. So stay tuned, guys. I think more content have to come. Can you guys bless me, follow me if you can? Anything, if you want to help, there's my details there on my bio, there's my number, there's my email. If you want to collaborate, if you want anything, a project with me, just contact me there. There's my contact there. My email is there. I'm here in Cape Town. Let's grow together. Together, we can go forward. Thank you. See you on the next video.
Proof, dangerous.